Are we living in a post-black United States? From neo-feminism to the Obama factor, our guest tonight discusses the diaspora to the generation gap. Joining us now from the WGN newsroom, a warm welcome to author and filmmaker Ytasha Womack. How are you this evening, Ytasha?
Oh, I'm great. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. You know, first and foremost, I know you're an author, but you're a filmmaker as well. You know, and you've also written the book Beats, Rhymes, and Life. Talk to us first, though, about Love Shorts and the other films that you've completed. Why are you a filmmaker?
Well, it's a great way to tell powerful stories, and I just think it's really exciting when we get to showcase loving relationships or just a new scene, so to speak. You know, a lot of exciting stuff happening with people today. Yeah,
you're a graduate of Clark Atlanta University. I see that you've written for Vibe, Essence, Emerge, and Ebony. Quite the Renaissance woman. What made you write this book, though, Post-Black? Talk to me.
Well, I really wanted to showcase the diversity in our community. Oftentimes when we talk about African American life, people have specific images that come to mind. And I wanted to really take a look at some of these new communities that are doing a lot of exciting things, and particularly how they impact the X and Y generation.
Yeah, the format of your book is wonderful. I love how you have it broken into subsets. Let's talk about the new urban audience, though. A love or hate relationship here. What's the new urban audience? What is that?
Well, it's interesting. Oftentimes people, when they look at you know, they talk about youth culture. They look at it through this hip-hop prism, but it's really more dynamic than that. People want to reach out to what they think are the more trendier audiences, but it's such a diverse group that you don't want to always segment people in that way.
Yeah, you quote Lelaina Hickerson in your book, Obama as first black president. You know, why do people look at him as a black president? You mentioned in your book he's a biracial president. What's the difference here? I mean, is he not black? Should we call him biracial? What are you saying, Ytasha?
Oh no, well, I didn't say that.
Right, we know that Lelaina Hickerson said it.
Right.
But why might people not call him biracial? Why would they call Barack Obama, the president, black?
Well, African American has always embodied both descendants of Africa and people of other cultures as well. So in the chapter on multiracial identity, there was one person who just challenged that notion as to why we want to label people specifically.
Yeah, and that's the problem I have, because it's like when you have this skin tone, my skin tone, you automatically up front say, well, I'm black or I'm African American, but you don't see white people always saying, hey, I'm Polish, Irish, Russian, American, you know, and so it just shows you that the psyche of our culture may be a little twisted. Do we use race as hierarchy, classification, or culture in this country? What do you think, Ytasha?
You know, it's so multifaceted. It really depends. I mean, culturally, you look at the traditions and the history that we're all a part of, but in some cases, black was a political identity for a long time as well, to kind of counter institutionalized challenges. So it really depends on what context we're talking about.
Yeah, the first book that you wrote, why? Why hip-hop? Out of all topics, you're an intelligent young lady. Why hip-hop? Why not something else?
Well, see, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Hip-hop has a wide range of really insightful messages, particularly when it started off. And oftentimes when we look at hip-hop, it's just assumed that it's kind of lowest common denominator. But we wanted to take a look at people who love the music, but also had issues with it as well.
Okay, and you know what? Hey, I am a lover of hip-hop, so hey, I don't know, I'm just as guilty. I love it. You know, I'll put some Tribe Called Quest in a minute. Hey, thanks to my guest tonight, Bob Fioretti and Ytasha Womack, for being on the show. Hey, will you come back on the show?
Of course.
I appreciate that. Hey, call me on the V line at 773-883-3450. And remember, I need you to stay positive, keep your head up, keep it up, and always be encouraged.